This is the VIC Video News Crime Watch for the week ending December 16th, 2022. A Nigerian man stabbed a presidential guard several times during an attack at the residence of Guyanese President Irfan Ali on Thursday. Bethel Ikena Chinezi, a 35-year-old employee at a local cleaning service, showed up at the State House, the president's official residence, and entered the guard hut. "I want the president," Chinezi told the man on duty before stabbing him 5 times. He then disarmed a female officer of her service weapon, walked out of the hut, and started firing shots outside the compound. Other security officers returned fire, hitting Chinezi 3 times. Chinezi and the injured security guard were both taken to hospital, and both underwent surgery for their injuries. They are now both reportedly recovering while police continue their investigations. In Trinidad, the identity of a decapitated head found in a drain about 3 weeks ago is now known. Passers-by reportedly spotted the body part on the morning of November 24th and called the police. The man's head was in a shallow drain near the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway in the community of Maloney, northwest of the Piarco International Airport. The remains were taken to the Forensic Science Center, where relatives recently identified the deceased as 25-year-old Nicholas Wilson. Authorities have not yet found the rest of Wilson's body. In Jamaica, the ongoing fraud investigations at Sagicor Bank, which resulted in former Ligani bank manager Trisha Moulton and another woman being charged with swindling over 65 million Jamaican dollars from customer accounts, seems to have placed Moulton's sister, Alicia Moulton White, in legal hot water as well. Moulton White, the outgoing vice president of group marketing at Sagicor Group, the bank's parent company, was this Wednesday charged with conspiracy to defraud, unlawfully making available data or device for the commission of an offense, engaging in a transaction that involved a criminal offense, and receiving stolen property. Reports from the local press are that the charges reportedly stem from funds in the region of over $660,000 in local currency being sent to one of her bank accounts. Moulton White was released on bail of $1 million after an interview with detectives of the fraud squad and is scheduled to appear in court next February. Her sister, Trisha Moulton, and Moulton's co-accused, Malika McLeod, appeared in court on December 9th and had their bail of $1 million each extended. However, Moulton White's attorney, Bert Samuels, is distancing his client from the $65 million fraud allegedly perpetrated by her sister and McLeod. Samuels said Moulton White is not implicated in the fraud at Ligani, but reporting from a source the Jamaica Observer deems as reliable and close to the investigation is that her charges stem from the ongoing fraud probe. Samuels proclaimed Moulton White's innocence of the charges against her and expressed concerns over injury to her reputation. While her sister and McLeod have been suspended by Sagicor Bank pending the conclusion of investigations, Moulton White will soon lose her job entirely. Sagicor Group recently expressed its intentions to part way with Moulton White as part of a restructuring exercise, making her post redundant as of December 31st. Meanwhile, Anthony Armstrong, Antigua and Barbuda's Director of Public Prosecutions, will return to his home country of Jamaica on January 5th, where his lawyer will attempt to persuade the courts to have a fraud case against him thrown out. Presiding Judge Venetia Blackstock Murray refused to stay proceedings in the case against Armstrong, who is accused of fraudulent behavior in the sale of 3 properties between 1999 and 2002. Armstrong allegedly helped facilitate the sale of the St. Andrew properties on behalf of his client at the time. The man was subsequently incarcerated in the United States, and Armstrong's legal team maintains that the money from the sale went to the father of the client, who was acting as his son's authorized agent during the period of incarceration. However, following a complaint from the client, a probe by Jamaica's General Legal Counsel found Armstrong to be guilty of professional misconduct for signing a document for a client who was not present. Hugh Wildman, attorney for the defense, said that Armstrong did not know that his client was imprisoned at the time and that he was simply assisting his relatives in handling the legalities surrounding the sale. Wildman asked for the matter to be thrown out due to abuse of process and lack of evidence. Justice Murray ruled, however, that there were issues to be ventilated in a trial where the facts of the case could be determined. Nevertheless, the judge said she was prepared to entertain submissions for dismissal when Armstrong reappears in January. The court also ordered Armstrong's passport and travel documents to be returned, allowing him to return to Antigua after being restricted to Jamaica for over a month since his last court appearance. However, Armstrong will not be returning to his old job. As Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown says, the DPP, who has served since 2005, has agreed to retire from the position. Quote, "My government could not allow Armstrong to continue to serve in this position given the accusation against him," Brown remarked.